Faced with the financial crisis and the budget cuts in the diocese due to the pandemic, the initiatives for congregational vitality and renewal needed to be on hold. So back in June, Canon Victor Conrado and I gathered some people together to brainstorm and dream about the future of our diocese. We dreamed of congregations thriving in the culture of collaboration and adaptive leadership, committed to renewal and reconciliation. Crisis is an opportunity for renewal and transformation, and we saw such an opportunity in the Thriving Congregations Initiative grant of Lilly Endowment. We invited General Theological Seminary to collaborate with us, and we got to working. After many hours of conversation and discernment on Zoom, we developed a 5-year initiative which we have named Episcopal Futures, an initiative for collaborative transformation. I'm excited to tell you that the Diocese of New York has received a grant of $1 million from Lilly Endowment for this initiative.
The first and primary goal of Episcopal Futures is to foster an adaptive culture in which we increasingly collaborate across congregational boundaries, increase our congregation's capacity to adjust, to change, and to take advantage of opportunities. In this way, we become more and more what God is calling us to be, vibrant and vital congregations working together for the mission of Christ.
The second goal of our project is the renewal of congregations. Sometimes what is old and no longer answers to the call of Christ has to be let go. What will come in its place? How can our congregations adapt to changing demographics? How can we break out of our silos and find shared ministries across borders? How can different regions, urban, suburban, rural, across different boundaries of language or size or style, work together to find new ways of being church? That's what the second part of this project is about, the renewal of congregations, working collaboratively, finding out what will work in a new world.
The third goal of our project is to plant new imaginative worshiping communities and outreach ministries that foster justice, inclusivity, and lay leadership. Jesus said, "Open your eyes and see, the fields are ripe for harvest." And there's something about times of crisis that help us to see things in a new way, and such opportunity for the church to re-envision what it looks like to be the hands and feet of Jesus for such a time as this. We learn best when we're in community, which is why the heart of this project are our learning communities. Spiritual practices for rules of life that support the missional cultures of their churches, and to increase their adaptive capacity, taking their essential identity, mission, and values, and adapting it to this rapidly changing environment for the sake of the gospel.
As a partner and collaborator, General Seminary's role is to serve as both a resource for curriculum development and theological research. As a resource for curriculum development, the seminary will work with our learning communities to adapt the Church's emerging Way of Love curriculum in ways that are attractive and appropriate and applicable to diverse ministry contexts and communities. It's one of our working hypotheses that a locally adapted curriculum shaped by the Way of Love will help churches to grow and to thrive. As a resource for theological research and reflection, the seminary will leverage our expertise in program assessment to help the project team take stock of our learning, celebrating both those moments of surprise and identifying opportunities for course correction as we dig into this work. Along the way, we hope to articulate a theologically informed vision of what evangelism and renewal and revitalization look like within the context of the Episcopal Church. And finally, because the seminary's primary mission is to educate informed leaders for the church in a changing world, this project will enable us to develop new evidence-based programs that will help the seminary train that next generation of church leaders and church innovators.
What happens next is in early 2021, we will open an application process for parishes to apply as teams to join learning communities. So each learning community will be made up of about 3 different parish teams who commit to spending 1 full year beginning in fall 2021, learning, discerning, praying, studying, and working together towards their new ministries and new initiatives. At the end of 1 year together, they will be eligible for seed funding to launch those projects. And I think what makes this really special is that all of our parish teams will have access to free childcare, free transportation, reimbursement for their expenses, meals. All low-income parishioners who are on parish teams will have stipends made available to them. We will be doing this in multiple languages with interpreters, there are coaches, there are translators. I think it's a really, really cool project. I hope you'll go to our website and find out how to join our mailing list and set up a time to talk to any one of us if you'd like to discuss what this might mean for your parish.
Currently, we are developing an application process for the initiative, which will be available to congregations in the fall of 2021. I encourage you, when the time comes, to avail yourself of the new learning for the new church reality in the 21st century.
Collaboration, adaptive leadership, renewal through teamwork, and faithful practices for mission and evangelism, planting new worshiping communities and redeveloping congregations. These are all goals and values of Episcopal Futures. Central to this initiative is learning communities. We will spend much of 2021 developing the curriculum for learning communities and roll out the initiative and the application process in the fall of 2021. Episcopal Futures is also committed to developing learning communities in the historically African American congregations and in other marginalized communities. I am deeply grateful to Lilly Endowment for recognizing the value of this new initiative and being the partners for God's mission in this diocese through its grant. I hope that with God's help and grace, Episcopal Futures will make a difference in the Diocese of New York.